I'm Dave Witt from Akron AAUP. I teach at the University of Akron in Akron, Ohio. When I got my job back in the 80s, I felt that it was my duty to go on to committee meetings and to do my part for the campus and to run for faculty senate and be on accreditation steering committee teams whenever possible. And I began to notice about 15 years, I might not be as smart as I think it took me a long time to realize that my committees would make recommendations and we would work real hard to try to help guide the institution, and we would just be ignored. And then at the same time, the university would tell us they had no money and the pay raises weren't coming as well. I didn't get in it for the money, but you'd kind of like to be able to, take your grandchildren for ice cream once in a while and those sorts of things. And so I actually was looking for some kind of more effective way to use my time to the benefit of myself and my colleagues. And I contacted our AAUP chapter. A group of 5 of us with the charge of fleshing out this organizing campaign. We met over the holidays every week, 4 or 5 times. And we came up with an FAQ, a list of questions that people ask about should we organize or not. And we started talking to our colleagues at Kent State and at Wright State about what questions are going to come up, how should we do this. And then we started getting advice from the national staff. We come back in January and we launched our card campaign. The administration still didn't even know we were doing this. And by the time we had our January meeting, now this is November, December, January, we had 30% of the cards signed before the administration even knew we were organizing. And we had our big meeting and we invited the press because the Collective Bargaining Congress people told us you should have a press conference. This was my first press conference. And we printed up a banner with our website, our little fledgling website, so that because they knew that take the picture of that would be in the newspaper perhaps. And we were off and running. And we had 50% of our cards. We announced that we wanted to have well over 50% before we would even ask for an election. So we knew we had the election won when we finally said we're through with the card campaign. And that was actually more fun. This is 20 years into my career. I was having more fun at my job and actually was teaching better and a little more energized about everything than I had been for the previous 10 years. Probably a pretty bitter contract negotiation. It went on for 26 months, which is about 10 months longer than most of them do. And I was the webmaster at the time, so I was keeping track of contract articles that were getting tentatively agreed to and the ones that were still outstanding. And at the end, when we finally finished up, we got every single thing we asked for. That the administration ultimately turned around on every single thing, except domestic partner benefits, which they're probably going to do this time, right? And I thought that was a pretty good track record. It just took us a little longer. They were more stubborn than some, I think. Yeah. And then while we've had our contract, we're going in negotiation of our second contract now, and in that time we've filed grievances that we don't talk about very much. Some of them are private matters, but we've saved people's jobs because a couple of people got sick and the university would like to just have them go on disability and leave, and that would make a real difference to their retirement. And we were able, because we're a union, we're able to let them come back to work when their doctor says they could. We've done that. Many of the things that were a problem in the past, now we have the administration listens to us a little more closely than they might have before, and they don't come to the point of a grievance. One of the things that faculty don't understand is that whether you're going to organize or not, when you stand up for yourself and when you stand up for your colleagues, you feel better about everything. You know, it's a liberating thing to do. Many times we're our own worst enemy and we don't ask questions because we're afraid of how we might look, but we're supposed to be smart folks, you know, and we all have good ideas, and if we articulate those in the right setting, it does nothing but good things for us. And we get phone calls. We never get phone calls from people that don't like what we have to say. They all say, "Way to go, that was great." You know, I wish I could say that. Every time someone tells me, "I wish I could do something like that," I just grab their hand and we come to a little chapter meeting and we find a job for them to do so that they can be part of this. It's actually a gift we're giving them. I think that's one of the problems that we have is many times people think when the union asks you to do something or your chapter asks you that it's going to cost you time and money and effort. And really what it is a little present that you're getting. I find that you meet a better class of people at AAUP. I come to the meetings or Summer Institute and I'm happy the whole time I'm here. I've watched this happen over and over and over again. We get people involved in the union and they're better colleagues. And that's just all I got to say about that is they have a good time at what they're doing. Suddenly your anger and your frustration has a place to go. You know, you feel effective. Even if we fail, and sometimes we can't convince our administration, not that we ever stop trying, and eventually they come around.